Guys, society wants our spiritual growth stunted. I'm telling you right now. I watched a video from Anthony the Witness last night. He's on YouTube. Please go and look him up because he's got quite a vast amount of knowledge and wisdom to share. He speaks the truth. He's a real one. So yeah, I recommend you look him up. But one of his most recent uploads explained in detail, quite a detailed explanation about how the beast system is pretty much in place and how it's going to get worse. Guys, it will get worse. All right. Now, since we grew up and our ancestors back in their time, their day, they would work a job that they hated. All right. Now, most of us, for most of our lives, have worked jobs where we hated being there. We hated clocking in. We hated the small talk and the gossip that was around us. Hopefully, we weren't a part of that. But if we were, then we've been forgiven, since we've become born again. But my point is, guys, they refer to that kind of way of existing. I'm not going to say living, because technically that's incorrect. It's existing. They refer to that way of existing as the rat race. Okay? It's basically get rich, get rich quick, and yep, work a job where you're clocking in a 9 to 5. Okay, you're getting the bills paid, and you're in a continual loop of basically being broke. If the bills are piling up and you barely get any freedom at all, okay? And that's part of the beast system, okay? It's part of the rat race, which is pretty much the beast system, okay? People feel like they have to race and rush, okay, into all these meaningless, monotonous, crappy things that hold no real relevance in any kind of regard to what life really means, okay? Now, I want to further explain about his video and the points he made, okay, about the beast system, how spiritual stagnation has become a big problem for most people in the world. They're not realizing who they really are, the power and authority they have within them. If they could only tap into the power they have and repent and become born again, they would become free from the matrix system, the beast system, all right, as a result. And I pray that for them, I really do, because we love our enemies because we have the love of God, and we realize that they are in fact entrapped, enslaved, and indoctrinated to believe, the lie, the world, the matrix. It's how it is out there, guys. But we, with eyes to see, we have the gift and ability to be able to wake these people up and bring them out of that trap, enslavement, mental slavery, Bob Marley, I believe, I could quote what he sang about, but I can't remember the exact lyrics. But he talked about mental slavery in one of his songs. If you guys know the song, please comment below if you wouldn't mind. You don't have to, but yeah, I can't remember the song. But yeah, mental slavery is imprisonment of the mind. It's limitation, okay, that's been imposed upon us from this beast system, the matrix. Okay, so as I said, I wanted to further explain about the points he made from a spiritual perspective. Now, guys, where I said spiritual stagnation and them stunting our growth spiritually, that applies to how we as human beings, we have a spirit, we have a spirit man, okay? We are to evolve. We are to use our spiritual gifts for the betterment of other people mainly, but also for our own excelling, our own growth, okay? And the world wants to hold us back from being able to do that effectively. Guys, we who are awakened, we realize the matrix. We realize that we are limitless beings. We have a great amount of potential that the world wants to suppress and shut down and dim our light, basically. Because from a spiritual perspective, guys, we are limitless. We can achieve great things. We can live an abundant way of living, a lifestyle of abundance, okay? Of power, of peace, of love. And the world, the Matrix, the agents and puppets, the flying monkeys, gang stalkers, witches, warlocks, workers of iniquity of the enemy are going to stop at nothing to try and prevent that from happening, from us growing and evolving continually in the power of the Spirit. All right? Our growth, guys, when we realize and tap into our power, our growth will become limitless. We will abound and we will attract things naturally. We won't have to make effort to fit in, whatever the case may be. Make money, guys, get rich quick, the rat race. We won't be a part of that mess. We will naturally attract things that are for us, okay, for the betterment of our lives, okay, in order to be able to then, as a result, help other people who are trying to find their way. And it's for the betterment of humanity, okay? It's not just for ourselves. We've got to use our gifts for the betterment of other people, for their journey, their progress. All right? Okay, so guys, we cannot be fooled. We cannot be fooled by the Matrix system, okay? That would be a huge mistake, a huge detriment to our mental health, spiritual growth, physical well-being. I'm telling you right now, if, guys, there's so many traps out there that are put in place and they're in plain sight. Some of them are concealed behind deception and falsehood and fake smiles, those pagan puppets, guys. It is boggling, just the amount of deception out there. It's crazy. It really is. But our spirit man has abounding and limitless potential. Our spirit cannot be stopped. Our spirit carries us through when our flesh, our body, our mind can't. All right? The things of the spirit, guys, and the power of the spirit is very hard to explain, okay? It's beyond the capacity of understanding completely. There's many things that tie in with the power of the spirit and how we can grow and evolve based off of our relationship with God, first and foremost, priority number one. And then everything else follows afterwards, which means our own growth, our own power, our own evolvement, okay? Put God first in order to be effective, in order for our spirit to grow more powerful so that we can evolve and abound with limitless potential and attract things naturally, okay, that are for us, that are good for us. And that's what the world doesn't want you to be aware of and realize, okay, and remember. And they'll stop at nothing, guys, to try and fool you into thinking that you're crazy, into thinking that they did no wrong. All right, these monitoring spirits, for example, guys, they're gonna go to extreme measures and lengths to try and cover up the truth of what they did with falsehood and a cloak of lies, a veil of deception. They're going to make you think that you weren't seeing what was happening for real, what was really happening. They're going to make out that they were doing something else. They weren't monitoring you, okay? They weren't watching you. When in reality, guys, they were. You were seeing the truth. You were being gang stalked, and you are as well. That won't stop. They're only just going to wax worse in deception, okay? Which means they're going to become even better actors. So expect more lies, expect more fake politeness, and them going above and beyond in means of deceptive methods of control, okay? Emotional manipulation. They're going to be extra chirpy, extra smiley. They're going to talk to each other about the mundane crap of the world, Oh, the weather was bad the other day, wasn't it? Yeah, oh, you see that on the news? Oh, what was the score with that football game the other day? Guys, they want to make believe, right, in their pagan puppet fantasy world, that they're gonna